A 15-year-old kid standing on the first tee of a PGA Tour event, surrounded by the world's best golfers who've spent decades perfecting their craft. The crowd's watching, the cameras are rolling, and everyone's thinking the same thing: he's just a kid. But what happened next sent shockwaves through the entire golfing world and left even Tiger Woods speechless. Miles Russell didn't just compete, he made history that no one saw coming. This wasn't supposed to happen. Not at 15. Not against professionals who've been grinding since before he was born. But Miles Russell just rewrote the record books and proved that age is nothing but a number when you've got raw talent, ice-cold nerves, and a dream bigger than the doubters around you. What he did on that course will be talked about for generations, and you're about to witness it all. Before we dive into this incredible story, if you love golf and want to see more amazing stories like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on history being made. Let's rewind for a second. Golf has always been a game of patience, experience, and time. It takes years, sometimes decades, to master. The PGA Tour? That's where legends are born, where grown men with families and mortgages compete for millions. It's not a place for kids, or at least that's what everyone thought. Enter Miles Russell, a name that just a few months ago, most casual golf fans had never heard. But trust me, you're going to be hearing it for the rest of your life. This teenager from Jacksonville, Florida, wasn't content with just being good for his age. He wasn't satisfied with junior tournaments or high school trophies. Miles had his eyes set on something bigger, something that seemed impossible, making his mark on the PGA Tour before he could even get a driver's license. Now, you might be thinking, come on, how good can a 15-year-old really be? And that's exactly what the doubters said. That's what the critics whispered. That's what even some professionals thought when they saw his name on the tournament roster. But Miles Russell was about to silence every single one of them. Let's talk about what actually happened. Miles didn't just show up to a PGA Tour event as a spectator or a wannabe. He earned his spot through the pre-qualifying rounds, battling against players who had everything to lose and nothing to gain by losing to a teenager. And he didn't just barely make it through, he dominated. His swing, pure poetry. His composure, like he'd been doing this for 20 years. His mental game, stronger than players twice his age who crack under pressure. When Miles stepped onto that course for his first official PGA Tour round, something magical happened. The first few holes, you could feel the tension. Everyone was watching. Would the kid fold? Would the pressure get to him? Would he embarrass himself on the biggest stage of his young life? But Miles did something that left everyone stunned. He birdied the third hole, then the fifth, then the eighth. This wasn't just a kid surviving out there. This was a kid thriving. By the time he made the turn, Miles Russell was playing golf that would make seasoned pros jealous. His drives were launching past players who'd been on tour for a decade. His iron shots were sticking to greens like darts. His putting, ice cold, zero nerves, just pure skill and confidence. The gallery started buzzing. Commentators started losing their minds. Social media exploded. This wasn't just a feel-good story anymore. This was history unfolding in real time. But here's where it gets even crazier. Miles Russell became the youngest player to ever make a cut on the PGA Tour. Think about that for a second. 15 years old, still in high school, still living with his parents. And he just outlasted professional golfers who've dedicated their entire adult lives to this sport. Players who've won tournaments, players who've made millions, players who've been grinding on tour since Miles was in diapers, and this kid just beat them. The records Miles broke didn't stop there. He became the youngest to compete in a PGA Tour event since the 1940s. That's over 80 years of history, and no one, not Tiger Woods, not Rory McIlroy, not Jordan Spieth, no one did what Miles Russell just did at his age. This isn't just impressive, it's legendary. Now, let's talk about what makes Miles so special. It's not just his talent, though he's got that in spades. It's his mindset. When reporters asked him how he handled the pressure, you know what he said? He said he didn't think about the pressure. He just played his game. Can you imagine? 15 years old, surrounded by the best in the world, cameras everywhere, thousands watching, and he's just playing his game like it's a casual Sunday round with friends. That kind of mental toughness? You can't teach that. You either have it or you don't. And Miles Russell has it in abundance. His coaches talk about how he prepares. He studies film like a pro. He works with sports psychologists. He trains his body like an elite athlete. This isn't some kid who got lucky. This is a kid who's been building toward this moment his entire life. And here's what makes this story even more incredible. Miles isn't done. This is just the beginning. He's already said he wants to win on the PGA Tour before he's 18. He wants to compete in majors. He wants to represent his country in international competitions. And after what we just witnessed, no one's betting against him anymore. Think about the path ahead of him. Miles Russell could potentially be winning major championships before he's old enough to legally drink champagne from the trophy. He could be breaking records that have stood for generations. He could be the player who redefines what's possible in professional golf. The scary part? He's only going to get better. He's still growing, still learning, still developing, and he's already this good. The impact of what Miles did goes beyond just records and statistics. He's inspired an entire generation of young golfers who now believe they don't have to wait until they're adults to compete at the highest level. He's proven that with enough dedication, talent, and mental toughness, age really is just a number. Parents are now looking at their kids differently. Coaches are rethinking their development programs. The entire golf world is realizing that the future of the sport might be younger than anyone imagined. But let's also give credit where it's due. Miles didn't do this alone. Behind every great athlete is a support system. His parents sacrificed everything to give him opportunities. His coaches saw his potential when he was just a little kid hitting balls at the driving range. His teammates and competitors pushed him to be better every single day, and Miles took all of that support and turned it into something extraordinary. The comparisons to other young phenoms are inevitable. People are already putting Miles in the same conversation as Tiger Woods when he was young. They're comparing his composure to Rory McIlroy's early days. They're analyzing his swing mechanics and saying he's got elements of the all-time greats. But here's the thing, Miles Russell isn't trying to be the next anybody. He's trying to be the first Miles Russell. And honestly, that might be even more impressive. What happens next for Miles is going to be fascinating to watch. Will he turn professional early? Will he play college golf and develop his game at a university? Will he try to qualify for more PGA Tour events? Whatever he chooses, you can bet the entire golf world will be watching, because Miles Russell just proved that he belongs on the biggest stage in golf, and that's not something anyone can take away from him. This moment, this historic achievement, will be remembered forever. Years from now, when Miles Russell is potentially holding major championship trophies and being inducted into the Hall of Fame, people will look back at this tournament and say, that's where it all started. That's when we knew he was special. And they'll be right. So the next time someone tells you you're too young, too inexperienced, too unproven to chase your dreams, remember Miles Russell. Remember the 15-year-old kid who walked onto a PGA Tour course and made history. Remember that the doubters will always be there. But the believers, the ones who trust in their own abilities and put in the work, those are the ones who change the world. Miles Russell just changed golf, and he's only getting started. This is a story we'll be telling for decades to come, and we're lucky enough to be witnessing it in real time. The future of golf isn't coming. It's already here, and its name is Miles Russell.